video, watch how Jay Z quickly turned around when P. Diddy greeted Beyonce with a touch on her shoulder. Jay Z came out of nowhere. This was at the Roc Nation brunch back in 2018. Jay Z definitely wasn't having it.
I want you to think about this. Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling.
Beyonce's Instagram account is the most unfollowed account on Instagram for the past week, and we all know why. Initially, she only lost 4 million followers to Eco 316, but we woke up today and she was at
Well, happy holidays. P. Diddy had a mental breakdown in prison, and Beyonce is heartbroken after the judge sides with Jay Z's 13-year-old accuser. Let's get into it.
Beyonce is shaking in her cowboy boots right now after 50 Cent destroyed her career with new receipts of her alleged dealings with Diddy. Baby, they even said Beyonce might be divorcing Jay Z and running off to Thailand, just like Russell Simmons did to escape the law. Folks initially thought Beyonce wasn't involved in whatever mess Jay Z and Diddy allegedly had going on, but it's beginning to look like she is. And of course, 50 Cent isn't passing on the opportunity to blow it all up even more. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you've definitely seen Beyonce trending right along with Diddy since his arrest. There was a whole trend on TikTok where people said, "Thank you, Beyonce," at the end of every sentence, because they noticed what all these celebrities were doing at the end of their acceptance speeches. And don't even get me started on the insane Beyonce worship when she pops out at these award shows. I know y'all have seen it. They literally queue up just to talk to her. Mind you, these people are grown women and men, and they are also celebrities themselves. So the fact that they treat Beyonce like she's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, definitely had folks wondering if there's more to it than just her being Beyonce.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
Beyonce, it was so monumental. We fucking adore you. You are our light.
Beyonce and I started out around the same time, and just like all of her fans, I fell in love with her. The first time I saw her, from her singing to dancing to acting, she can do it all. She's a triple threat and one of the most talented people I've ever seen.
And the fact that Beyonce made a country record changed the game. So thank you.
Beyonce, you changed my life. So thank you so much. I definitely want to say thank you to Beyonce.
And thank you, Beyonce. You're amazing.
I also have to say thank you to Beyonce, just so that we keep the dance community safe. Everybody, Beyonce, you got great music. We all love to dance to it. We all love you.
Now, when news broke that 50 was accusing Beyonce of committing crimes, the first person everyone mentioned was Kathy White. Here's the thing. When Kathy White passed away, the story that circulated everywhere was that a brain aneurysm caused her death, and this was confirmed by her autopsy. However, Jaguar Wright didn't buy this whatsoever and pointed fingers at Beyonce and Jay Z, claiming they were involved in what happened to Kathy.
She actually died screaming, and the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand's sake.
And don't forget Jaguar's appearance on Piers Morgan's show that nearly landed her in legal trouble with Jay Z and Beyonce. If y'all remember, she sat there on TV alleging that Beyonce orchestrated Aaliyah's death.
That was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay Z
sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
And while we're talking about Aaliyah, let's get into the speculation over the years that she was eliminated to clear the path for Beyoncé's rise. And even beyond that, there are also claims that Beyoncé was jealous of Aaliyah because Jay Z only pursued her after his attempts to win over Aaliyah fell flat. And truthfully, the suspicious circumstances surrounding Aaliyah's death certainly added fuel to these theories. To begin with, Aaliyah had no intention of boarding that plane. She was drugged with a sedative against her will. Then once she was out of it, they threw her inside the plane straight to her death. Dame also revealed details about how Jay pursued a romantic relationship with Aaliyah following her involvement with R. Kelly. It seemed like he and R. Kelly had some kind of challenge going on to see if he could become intimate with Aaliyah. According to Dame's account, Jay was sending her bouquets and extending party invitations. She wasn't receptive to any of his advances.
I guess Jay was trying to get at her as well. And I didn't know. He was sending flowers and he was courting her.
Because the rumor originally was that you were connected to Jay.
Exactly. Jay and I were hanging out a lot. He's my homie. We have a lot of fun together, but we never dated like that.
I'm gonna leave it.
So you have a boyfriend in your life?
It's personal life. That's
personal?
the personal life.
No.
I don't really discuss it. It's hard when you're in this business. You become a public figure. You know what I mean? And everything you do belongs to the public, and that's fine. But there's parts that you want to keep for you.
Now, the thing is, a lot of people were actually surprised to find out about Beyoncé's alleged involvement with Diddy, because for the longest time, people thought it was just Jay Z. You see, way back when Beyoncé was in Destiny's Child, they almost joined Bad Boy Records. But Diddy chose not to sign them, saying he only wanted Beyoncé, not the other girls in the group. But here's where it gets wild. It seems like he and Beyoncé kept in touch over the years and got up to some messed up stuff together. And one of those things was supposedly the freakoffs. And even with this freakoff mess, people were still not sure how invoiced Beyoncé was till DaBaby's interview with Shannon Sharpe, in which he revealed disturbing details about when he ended up at an alleged freak-off with Beyoncé and Jay Z at Diddy's place. He says he showed up at Diddy's house thinking it was going to be a work meeting, but things took a different turn.
Beyonce, I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know,
right.
Jay Z and Beyonce being, you know, 2 of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in
right.
at the moment, you know. And she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to.
Right.
Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope.
Now, what made these claims even worse for Beyoncé was that right after DaBaby spoke up, the well-known lawyer Ariel Mitchell did an interview and suggested there might be a tape of Beyoncé and Diddy at a freak-off. Apparently, someone contacted her asking for help selling a tape that showed Diddy and another famous person. Ariel never said Beyoncé's name, but since her interview happened right after DaBaby's talk with Shannon, people connected the dots themselves.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but the shopping thing is
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow, can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No,
this
I can't
tape.
explain who the person was, but Mr.
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was pornographic in nature.
Oh my, all right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, did he? And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped.
What he is a broke down Mandingo fighter still working on behalf of the NFL. Interview with the baby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? That happened on Shay Shack. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house. And how after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let the baby stay behind with him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house.
But check this out, y'all. Word on the street is Beyoncé is already taking steps to protect herself, especially after 50 Cent put out that documentary. Some of you might not know this, but after 50 Cent released the documentary, he said there were more things he wanted to include, but couldn't. However, he's planning to put all those things out next year. It's basically going to be a part 2 of what's already out, but with way more people called out. And supposedly, Beyoncé and Jay Z might be included too.
It was 4 episodes.
Right.
So it was a lot. You had to pick and choose things. Like even in an area where he chooses to date people who he knows previously dated someone. He has a baby by a woman that was dating Tupac.
Wow.
To add to it, but we had to cut it down so it
For time. So are you coming out? I know next year is going to be a number 2, season 2.
I just put it on YouTube.
I just put it on YouTube. Well, we can subscribe and get it. I love it. And
and as y'all can imagine, Diddy was livid when this documentary came out, and he ended up sending 50 Cent some flowers.
It's not clear if this second part will really include Beyoncé and Jay Z, but whatever the case, it seems to have Beyoncé worried, because right now she's supposedly planning to leave the country and then claim that she didn't know anything about what was happening. Someone who claims to be close to her shared this information in a blind item, and let me tell you, the details are wild. The source said, industry insiders have been whispering about this for a while. Singer has threatened to flee the country multiple times. She's done with the control, the pressure, and the handlers who make every decision for her. They're afraid she'll leave without notice, and they're right to be. Singer suffers from depression and has S thoughts. Her team sees her as a danger to herself, but what they're really afraid of is losing their cash cow. They've kept her under control for years, but they won't be able to much longer. She's on the verge of rebelling. She's fed up with her mother's control. She's tired of her husband's influence. But here's the real tea. She knows what happened to her idol when he tried to break free. She's afraid of the same fate. That's why she's quietly making moves, setting up her escape and ensuring that when she finally disappears, she won't be forced to come back. I'm just saying, if she suddenly cancels shows or starts spending more time overseas, just know it's not just for fun. Believe what you want, but when it all comes out, remember this post. These claims from this blind item also line up perfectly with what the well-known YouTuber Storm Monroe said some time back, hinting that Beyoncé might divorce Jay Z to protect herself when things get out of control.
Part of the reason why they're already living separate lives and we may actually see
one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood is because Jay Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, "Oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah 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 blah." Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both of them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, they about their money first. They're gonna do what's best for business first. As far as Beyonce is concerned, do she love him? I mean, he's really all that she knows.
As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, "Why is everyone talking about Jay Z and not Beyonce? Y'all really think her hands are clean? Next doc needs to be about them too." Another person said, "Not people acting like Beyonce is innocent in all of this, despite the hundreds of accusations against both Jay Z and Beyonce. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Beyonce allegedly being involved with Diddy? And do you believe she was really an accomplice in all of this? Let me know your thoughts in the section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.